There is a frustrating reality about being a mortgage holder in Australia today, especially with interest rates continuously increasing on us. You can work harder, you can earn more, you can get promoted, and you just feel like you are running on the hamster wheel that is your mortgage. Most people feel like there's nothing they can do about it either. You earn it, you pay the mortgage, and that is it. The concept I want to talk about today is called debt recycling. And you may have seen one of my videos about this before. You may have seen one of the other videos on YouTube before, but debt recycling is one of the strategies that can actually change the reality for most mortgage holders. And it does this by helping you turn your principal place of residence debt, which is typically non-deductible debt, into productive debt. But before we get started, my name is David. I'm a mortgage broker here in Australia. If you're enjoying my content, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. I really enjoy making this content. So if you have any suggestions on topic ideas and things that you guys want to learn about, please let me know in the comments below. I am open to all ideas. But now back to the video. If you've got money sitting in your offset account right now and you think this is the best you can do to make your mortgage work for you, I've got to stop you right there because there is more that you could be doing, especially if you want to start investing that money and generate some long-term wealth for you and your family. And through this video, we're going to touch lightly on the tax strategy that is debt recycling. Let it be known though, this is not tax advice, this is general advice only, and please speak to your qualified tax accountant if you want to implement debt recycling for you. This video here is designed to talk about the loan structuring aspect and how you can use your principal place of residence to make this strategy work. At its core, the loan structuring surrounding debt recycling does one thing and one thing only. It converts your home loan, which is considered non-deductible debt, into investment debt, which can generally be tax deductible. It's really important to note that you're not actually taking any more debt in this scenario here. You're just changing what your existing debt is being used for. Your home loan isn't deductible because it's not producing any income for you. But if you borrow money to invest in something that does produce income, we're talking shares, ETFs, or my favorite, an investment property, the interest on that loan can generally be claimed as a tax deduction. That's the whole principle that this strategy is built on. To show you how this works in practice, what I'm going to do is show you a practical example that I'm going to draw out for you so it's really easy to follow along. So in this example here, you have your $1 million house. Please ignore the way that I draw. I'm not a drawing kind of person. You have an $800,000 loan against your $1 million property. You then also have in your offset account, we have $200,000. Now, what most people will do here is say, hey, I've saved up another deposit for an investment property and I want to use this $200,000 to go ahead and invest in property. However, this isn't the way that you should be doing it because essentially what you're doing is using cash to invest, which goes against the whole ethos of this strategy. So what we recommend for a lot of clients, of course, they're getting their own tax advice on this, is debt recycling. So this is how it works in practice. We have our $800,000 loan here in this beautiful square, because I'm not going to try drawing a house again. We have our $200,000 that we have decided with our accountant that we want to invest now. So what we're going to do is inject this $200,000 worth of cash directly into our home loan. What's going to happen here is we're going to refinance and restructure, and we're going to take out a $600,000 PPR debt, right? Plus, we're going to open up a $200,000 investment loan. Now, generally, these investment loans will be interest only. That's the way that I like to set mine up. I like to have interest only for my investments. You generally pay a slight premium on this interest rate as well, but we're getting into the weeds of it now. That's not the point. So the point here is that once we've done this $200,000 investment split, because we've injected the $200,000 here and effectively made this 600 grand, we have gone over here and then taken out a secondary loan split. So this 200 grand comes back out as cash, except now we're in the same debt position of $800,000 in total, like we were at the beginning, but 200,000 of it now has the purpose of investment. And purpose is generally what dictates tax deductibility. Talk to your accountant again, I cannot stress that enough. Then what we would do is use this $200,000 here as the deposit and costs on an investment property. And then we would take out a secondary loan here, call it, $400,000 because you've taken out a loan to purchase for 600 grand. And this is how we would structure it. So now that we've set up our debt recycling and we've gone ahead and bought an investment property, this is how your setup is going to look. We have the $1 million home that we live in. We have two loan splits. We have a $600,000 PPR loan. This is non-deductible debt. And then we have a $200,000 investment loan. So as you would notice, we are still in $800,000 worth of debt like we began with at the beginning. Now, of course, we've used this $200,000 in cash that we took out as an investment loan. to go ahead and put down a deposit on this property here, like we discussed earlier. Then we have our other loan of 400 grand against it. This is just the nature of investment properties. Now we go to the 2.0 version of debt recycling itself and what you should be doing on the second layer of this. So this property here is going to generate income. And you might think, great, extra cash flow. What are you going to do with that cash flow here? Well, if you want to be productive and you want to be smart with your money, this is what you should be doing. Taking that income here and plonking it directly into an offset account that is attached to the $600,000 principal place of residence debt. The whole goal of debt reduction is to get rid of this debt right here. We want to eliminate this debt as fast as humanly possible, and all debt that we have being investment debt is going to be the most productive way to do things. Then of course, as you continue to pay down the principal place of residence debt, you can then recycle this entire concept and continue on down that path of debt recycling to buy more assets to go ahead and pay down your principal place of residence debt. Now, of course, you're going to see some crazy things all over the internet that's going to talk about buying 10 investment properties, using all that income to go ahead and pay off your PPR debt. 10 properties is ridiculous, in my opinion. I think a really good strategy is getting yourself to 2, maybe 3 investments. Do they all have to be in property? Probably not. Do you want to invest elsewhere? You can do whatever you please with your investments as long as you're getting the appropriate advice. However, what I want to go over here is making sure that we are using our homes and our mortgages to the best of our advantage to make sure we have the most productive debt possible. What you do with your investment strategy is completely up to you. Now, before we wrap up this video, there are 3 structural mistakes that people make when they go ahead and do a debt recycling strategy attached to their mortgage. Number 1 is contaminating the money trail. When you draw from your investment split to go ahead and invest, that money needs to go directly from the loan account or the new offset account that's been opened up with that loan account into the investment itself. Not your everyday transaction account and not anywhere that has other money in it. Making a clean, direct trail of where that money is going means there is absolutely no tax ambiguity, and trust me on this, your accountant will thank me for it. Mistake number 2 is being with the wrong lender. Debt recycling requires your lender to support clean loan splits. This is where chasing interest rates on the back of the bus credit union ad that you saw when you were driving down the main road may not be the best strategy for you. And I'm not saying just because you want to debt recycle, you're going to be stung with a really high interest rate, but just don't let rate lead your decision making. You need a lender who is going to be as flexible as you need them to be. You need them to support investment products, loan splitting, and interest-only products as well. You actually need to also make sure you qualify for the lender's products, because every lender has very, very, very different income policy and what they're going to treat fairly and not fairly. Now, not every lender does debt recycling well, so this is where I like to say it is incredibly important to work with a professional to place your loan correctly and set these structures up so you can't be making a mistake. And mistake number 3 is using your redraw accounts thinking you are accurately performing debt recycling. The best analogy that I have for redraw accounts versus offset accounts is that you are depositing money into the bank's bank account, not yours. An offset account is your money. The redraw account is the bank's account. When you put money in redraw and take it back out again, you start to contaminate the loan trail that we spoke about in mistake number 1. Keeping your loan accounts free from any extra repayments is really going to help you avoid this issue. This is why we constantly spruik using offsets and restructuring your debt to make sure we implement this stuff correctly. Now that we have spoken about debt recycling, the last thing I will leave you with is, if you think that debt recycling is going to work for your strategy and your numbers, book a call with me. The link is in the description, and I look forward to working with you.